Hey there, welcome to Mental Health Monday. I am so excited because it's April, Financial Awareness Month, and that means that we're going to be talking about money, one of my favorite subjects. So I am Kene Quarter, and as you know, I am the world's number one financial hypnotherapist, and that's why the month of April, which is called Financial Literacy Month, but I call it Financial Awareness Month because the people that I talk to are totally literate. They just need more awareness when it comes to finances. How about you? Do you feel like you need more? Do you need to really look closer at your emotions around money so that you can begin to reconcile them and shift them? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today in this video. Like I said, it's Mental Health Monday and your mental health is affected by money. Did you know that money is the number one cause of stress? Of course, you knew that because it's the number one cause of your stress, right? Whether you have money or not. I have worked with not so rich people. I have worked with very rich people. I have worked with even poor people, and money is the number one cause of stress. Now, some people don't like that term poor. Let's say challenged, money challenged. But it doesn't matter whether you have money or not, or whatever you call it, whatever you call yourself, that is determined by how you navigate the money cycle. Now, maybe you watched my video on Instagram on Friday. Maybe not. But I'm going to post it on my LinkedIn as well so you can see it there. And I'll upload it to YouTube. So wherever you like to watch these videos, I'll make sure you have it. But what I talked about was the money cycle, and that is earn, grow, protect, gift, and enjoy your money. This video today is going to really focus on earning. Now, you're probably going to be putting questions in the chat, and I have to share with you that I'm using a system that's slightly new to me. So if I don't respond to all your messages immediately, I promise I'll get back to you. But the best way to really get me to answer your questions fast and really be able to interact with me is to just join the free community. Now, the free community is specifically for therapists, healers, healthcare professionals who are serving and are dedicated to doing their own work so that they can get to the top of their mental health and money game and excel and thrive personally and professionally. But if that didn't describe you, you can still jump in because the tools are very helpful for anybody. But I just want you to know the topics and who we're going to be addressing more often. So if that's you, there's a link in the comments. You can click on that link. It's free to join. And for the month of April, I am just giving away this information because it is so it just like makes me feel really, really good to serve you in this capacity. And I know how heavy, stressful, um, anxiety ridden we can be when it comes to money because I've worked so long with it. Maybe I was a financial advisor with Morgan Stanley for many years, and I noticed that people needed help with more than stock picks and numbers. There was anxiety and stress and trauma, even depression associated with money, and I wasn't equipped to help them. So I made the shift to therapy, became a counselor, got my master's in clinical mental health counseling, and now I merged my training with my background so that I can serve you specifically. So if you want to hang out with me all this month for free, you'll get my entire program for free. You have access to my entire program. You probably can't finish it in the 30 days that you have it for free, but get as much as you can out of it, especially if you're a therapist and or a healthcare professional and you're serving the world. Now let's get into today's topic. Okay. Are you ready? This month, like I said, it's Financial Awareness Month. So I want you to gain some awareness around your emotions with money. But today, I want you to focus on your emotions around earning money. And there are a couple of things that I hear. There are actually three things that I hear a lot that I really want to touch on. And one of those things is self worth. Have you been talking about self worth and money? The second thing is guilt when it comes to money. And the third thing, greed. Have you felt greedy, guilty, or maybe like you weren't earning what you're worth Have you ever said that sentence? Where we're going to dive deep into those and a lot more. I have some notes here. So if you see me checking over here, it's because I want to make sure I hit on every single point that I have prepared for you, because it's a lot of information. If you don't finish this video in one setting, come back to it, bookmark it, save it, do whatever you need to do. But make sure, like, text it to a friend and say, hey, let's all watch this video and discuss it, a colleague. Okay. So, do you feel like you have to choose between your values and money? Do you feel like you have to choose between making a difference and making money? Like, you either do one or the other. Do you feel like you have to choose between, like, picking a creative, career, creative product, service, or whatever, or making money? Do you feel like that? Have you felt that? Have you said that? Do you feel like you're not earning what you're worth? Have you ever said that or felt like that? What is the amount of money that you need to earn in order to feel prosperous? Because that's really what you're saying. Let me break something down to you. I want to do this right now. And yeah, we're like 5, 6 minutes in, and I could have done this earlier, but I got to tell you this. Nobody can pay you what you're worth. If you don't listen to anything else I say in this video, listen to this. You are worth so much more than any dollar amount could ever describe. No dollar amount determines what you're worth. You are valuable. And even if somebody paid you $11 million or $1 trillion, they still could not even touch your worth. Okay? So never ever say that statement again. And I'm going to tell you why in a few minutes. But let me ask you this question. When do you feel the most prosperous? Think about that. When do you feel the most prosperous? Is it when you're earning money, growing your money, protecting it, gifting it, enjoying it? Just think about that. Now let's shift to earning. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how prosperous do you feel right now when it comes to your earning? On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being low, I don't feel prosperous at all. 10 being high, I feel extremely prosperous. Like, whoo. Um, how prosperous do you feel when it comes to earning your money right now? So just begin to think about that. And you want to really get clear on that. Like, ask yourself, what is my idea of prosperity? What is the amount of money I need to earn in order to feel prosperous? How do I want to show up in the world when earning that type of money? Because money makes you more of who you are. So if you're a generous person, you get money, you're going to be more generous. And let me clear something up real quick. The universe just gave me this thought. I said money makes you more of who you are. So get clear that I'm talking about who you are deep down inside, not how you behave. Because money can shift your behavior, but it cannot shift who you are. Do you hear me? I know that a lot of this you've never heard before, because there's a lot of myths and misconceptions and just straight up flat out lies about money and you roaming around the world and in society. But money is not going to change you. It may change your behavior. It may make you greedy. It may make you feel guilty. It may make you a nicer person. It may make you a meaner person. It can do a lot of things to your behavior, but the money doesn't change you. You got to do the work to change you or to become more of who you are. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the internal factors. But first, let's talk about some external factors. So I just talked about one, which was the societal ideas that get thrusted at you when it comes to earning, growing, protecting, gifting, and enjoying your money. When it comes to love and acceptance, that's all outward. We're looking at, will you love me? Well, will you love me if I earn enough money? Will you love me if I hold on to enough money? Will you love me if I protect my money? Would you love me if I gift you my money? Will you love me if you can enjoy my money with me? love and acceptance has a lot to do with how we work with money. But we're not told that because we're told money can't buy love. Well, why the hell are all of us trying to do that if money can't buy love? Because society, even though it says money can't buy love, it also says you better use your money to get what you can get. Now, silently is saying that. So, silently, we are all trying to get love and acceptance using money and not in the same way. It's like this all means different things to different people. So where earning money might be your thing and the way you get love, somebody else might get love by enjoying it with others. I'm sure you've seen that in our work. We call that the enthusiast money mentality. The enthusiast money mentality is going to buy the bar, make sure everybody has a good time, take care of their wants. Now, the hero, which is what I used to be before I started doing this work, the hero is all about needs, not wants. The hero will make sure your needs are taken care of. And that's how the hero gets love and acceptance when it comes to money. Now, let's break this down even further because charging high prices doesn't mean you now have an understanding or a great relationship with money. It just means you've gotten the courage to ask for a certain amount of money. It doesn't even mean that just because you charge that amount, that you're actually getting that amount. Because deep down inside, you may feel some greed, you may feel some guilt. And so, even if you say your price is $20,000, if you feel that underlying icky emotion, then you're not going to get that. And maybe yeah, you can say it all day, or you $2,500 a month. That's my price. And maybe people are paying you, but you don't feel good about that amount. Nor did you really even do the numbers to see if that was the right amount. What if you are charging $2,500 a month, but your expenses are $3,000 a month? Now you're not even charging the right amount business wise because all you're doing is focusing on external factors. You got to do the business work to see if that's the right amount of money. And when it is, then you are justified. So if you charge $5,000 a month and that is what makes you a profitable therapist or healer or healthcare professional, then that makes sense. Now, it's just that when you go to the hospital and they charge you $10 for one Tylenol, and you could have bought 3 bottles of Tylenol, probably not now with inflation, but 2 bottles of Tylenol for that $10 that they charged you. Now, that's just greed. It didn't have to do that. It didn't cost them $10. They're of course going to mark it up. That's business. But to mark it up 1,000% is just highway robbery and it's unnecessary. And that's probably what you're feeling sometimes when you're thinking about the guilt or doubt when you create a price for your service or product or even for the job, accepting a job. But guilt, greed, those are all lack mentality emotions. Lack mentality means that you think it's not enough. And I know I'm going on and on and on because I want to give you a lot of information. Don't forget, you can join the community if you have deeper questions, because all this month I'm just going to be pouring into you. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to pop up. You can come into Zoom with me and hang out, ask your questions. What I usually do is do some teaching, and then I do an actual tame your brain session so we can tame your brain and clear your money blocks. And then I open it up for questions and I answer your questions. But that happens in the Zoom, but you have to be in the community to do that. There's a link in the comments that you can click on and join it for free for the next 30 days. And I should say, that 30 days ends April 30th. So the sooner you get in, don't wait. It's free. What the heck why would you wait? But the sooner you get in, the more days you have. If you wait, then it's not 30 days from the time you join. It is 30 days. So get in now and share it with your colleagues. So those are your internal factors. And I talked a little last about your lack mentality emotions. Lack mentality emotions just mean you think it's not enough in the world. You think if you have, then somebody else doesn't. You think that you got to take, and get enough. Well, it's so much out there that you can never take more than your fair share. Because when you're thinking either or thinking, that's lack mentality. So either you're thinking like, oh, I have to be able to make a difference. So that means I can't make money, or I have to pay all my bills. So I can't do good work. I just have to just think about money. And I was just talking to a colleague of mine, and everything that she was doing was around money, around money, around money. And she's not a client of mine, just a colleague. And I was sharing with her some of these principles, and she is in the works of shifting that. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's something we're shifting in our business to really care more. So it's more about a combination. And it made me so proud to hear her say that, because I feel like more entrepreneurs, more business owners are becoming more conscious about not having to choose, about the lack mentality emotions, that either or thinking, the greed thinking, the take, just give me, give me, give me. Um, Charging high prices just for the heck of it. No rhyme or reason, just greed. Feeling that guilt, that's also a lack emotion that if you have, that somebody else is not going to have. That's just not true. It just isn't. So you can let it go. In a clearing session that we're going to do this week, we're doing sessions. Some of the other therapists will be doing sessions this week. So you'll definitely have Janet. I'm going to see if I can get Janet on one of these Mental Health Monday lives with me, so you can get introduced to her. You can and we have two other therapists that I want to introduce you to. We're a group, and as a group, we're going to pour into you. You're not alone. You don't have to do this on your own. So let's talk about a few other factors. And we're already at 16 minutes, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but this subject is so important. So stay with me if you can. Stay with me. But when you think about earning money, what are the feelings or the emotions that come up? Think about that. When you think about earning money, what are the feelings and emotions that come up? Now, I already talked about greed and guilt and that either or thinking, but maybe you have more. Maybe there's anxiety. Maybe there is doubt that comes up, maybe fear comes up. So you just think about that, and you can put it in the chat if you don't mind sharing that. I guarantee you're not alone. So if greed, if guilt, if fear, if any of those anxiety are yours, just put it in the comments. I want to know. And I want to tell you that about when it comes to that self-worth, you know how I was just talking about earlier, you've been told that if you don't charge enough, you don't love yourself, you don't know your self-worth. It's just not true. Maybe it's that you're confused. You don't even know how to price yourself. You don't even know, and let me be very clear that it's not you that you're pricing. It is your product. It is your service. It is the transformation that you offer. It is the amount of information and education and care that you have inside of you that you are going to pour out into that other person. Now, I believe that information should be free, but education costs. So when you are really going to educate someone, shift and change their lives, then there is a dollar amount that needs to be associated with that, because that exchange has to have some sort of sacrifice. And this is not just my belief, this is a spiritual teaching throughout thousands and thousands of years, that there needs to be an exchange. It doesn't necessarily have to be currency, US dollars or Japan yen, or whatever you spend. Oh, that kind of rhyme. But anyway, um, whatever you use, whatever currency you use right now in your country, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could be time. It could be an exchange of expertise. Yes, bartering is a thing. And I don't recommend it, especially therapists. We are not allowed to do it. I don't recommend bartering because it is sometimes hard to get that even exchange, but it's possible. So maybe when you do your bartering, that might be from therapist to therapist rather than therapist client, because there's already an exchange there, and it has to have clarity around it. So bartering is sometimes an escape we use because we're afraid to say how much money something costs. But I'm saying, don't be afraid of bartering, just don't use it as a crutch. Okay, got it. Lots here, lots. You might have to watch this video more than once. Don't be ashamed. I say watch it 10 times. You have no idea how many times I've said these things, and every time I say it, I'm still even taking notes because I want to make sure I give you all of it because it's a lot to remember. And your emotions are heavy and full and complex and layered. So don't judge yourself. Don't feel bad. Just educate yourself. Yes. Okay. So you might be confused. You might also be comparing yourself to others. You might even be complaining. Those three, confusion, comparing, and complaining, really hurt your money and they create money block. But when you are comparing yourself to others, that creates that confusion because now you're not tapped in to your own idea of prosperity. And I just need about 5 more minutes of your time, so hang in there with me. I know that you're going to want this next part, and this is the internal factors. We're almost there. But these three, confusion, comparing, and complaining, are a big part of what's getting in the way of you having the money that you want. Now, some people are feeling like they charge enough, they're really good in the earning area, but maybe they still feel like not so good in the grow or protect or gift or enjoy area. We're going to talk about that over the next few days, over the next few weeks. But let's talk about earning. Yeah, maybe you feel like you do earn enough, but how do you feel about that money? What are the feelings? Are you complaining because you're not making as much as the next person? Maybe you make $100,000 a month, but you know somebody that makes $1 million a month and you feel like, what? Or maybe you make freaking $1,000 a month and that feels terrible to you. And you at least want to get to $10,000 a month. Whatever the number is, it doesn't matter, but we are going to get some clarity around that number. So I want to make sure you know these internal factors. Guess what? You can't mess this up. You're going to get what you want out of life. You're going to get the amount of money you deserve. It's going to happen for you if you follow these principles. Because even though you can't mess it up, you can slow it down. If you're not clear, you can slow it down if you continue to compare yourself. You can slow it down if you continue to just sit in that confusion rather than do the work to shift it and focus and get clarity. Your self worth has no price. You are valuable beyond measure. There is no amount of money that represents you. So don't worry about that, but really figure out how to price your product, your service, whatever it is you do, even your career, your job. Separate yourself from your job. Separate yourself from your product. Separate yourself from your service. Internally, you've got to know that you are priceless. Do you know that? Good. You don't get paid what you are worth. You get paid for what you deliver. Got it? Money is negotiation. It's a conversation. It's an exchange. Don't let it define you. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're better than anybody else. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're a great person inside. Just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean you're peaceful and relaxed and calm. You got some work to do. And it doesn't mean that just because you have a little bit of money that you can't be peaceful and relaxed and have fun. It doesn't mean because you have a little bit of money that other people are better than you or you're not smart enough or you haven't figured it out yet. It just means you have some resistance up. You have some blocks. And we just need to release them, which was what we're going to do in this financial awareness for therapists month. So go ahead, click the link in the comments, in the description. In the comments, if you want, you can put some questions, but I'm going to answer them in the community. So get in there. And I know you're saying like, why do I have to get in your community? And answer that question. It's easier for me to pour into you if I see you in my community. It's really just that simple. But if you are in that place where you just want to take, then you probably don't want to get in the community because then I'll see you, we will connect, and there'll have to be an exchange. See, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth, but it's about time somebody has. So I'm asking you to take one step so that I can pour into you. Now, later, we might decide we want to go and connect even more and exchange money. But right now, I'm telling you, I'm pouring into you for free for 30 days. Now, whether you want to receive that or not is up to you. But sometimes it's hard to receive because you're just so busy worrying about what it's going to cost you later. Is that you? Because I'm dropping some knowledge right now and I'm probably hitting some hearts. I'm hitting some hearts because you're like, oh shoot, that's me. Or maybe you're in denial that that's you, but that's okay. Because I'm just dropping seeds. And later somebody's gonna else can water them. Or you can come back here and I can water them and then we can harvest them together. But we can't do that when we have this much distance between us. So that's why I want you to get into the group. And you see, I'm like using my hands. I'm all into this. I'm passionate because this work is so freaking important. Do you get that? Do you get that? It's important to me, but it's also going to be important to you the more you do it. You are not in a peaceful place yet. You can be. It's not that difficult and you're not that far away. But it does take taking some steps. And you can do it. Your values set your price. What are your values? Now, last video, if you watched last week's video, that was all about your values. Know your values. We really want to know our numbers now. This month of April, we're talking about knowing your numbers. And the number that we need to know right now is the amount of money you need to earn in order to feel prosperous. So what do you value? Because that's the reason why you earn that money. Sometimes you want to feel guilty about the number or amount you charge. Forget all of that because you have value. You add value and you have values. What are the things that you value? So, in order for you to pour into other people, you might need to get massages. You might need to get your hair and nails done. You might need to have a really pretty office with essential oils and art and whatever things. You may need to have a view. I'm naming some of the things I have. If you notice, I'm like, oh yeah, that and that and that. Anyways, that is what I need in order to pour into you. I need all of that. I might need a downtime, some 2 days off or whatever, but I got to be able to afford that. So the things that I value allow me to pour more into the people I love. But that's a certain lifestyle that comes with a certain cost. And so it also means that I have to charge a certain price. I feel no guilt for that because I know that it puts me in a better place to be with you. I'm putting on my mask first before assisting others. Got it? I know what that feels like. And you need to know what that feels like too. If you are giving more than your fair share, you got to stop because you're never going to earn the right amount of money, or you're going to earn the right amount of money and then you're going to lose it. You're going to earn the right amount of money and then you're going to lose it. You're going to earn the right amount of money and then you're going to lose it, or you're going to give it away, or you're going to feel guilty about it. So if you feel guilty about it, it's going to run from you. It's going to go away. Yeah. Or you're going to earn the right amount of money but you're going to sit at home and can't sleep at night and be anxious. Yeah. So nobody decides for you what that right amount is. That's your idea of prosperity. That's your decision. It comes from your gut. Some people say spirit. It comes from within. These are the internal factors. So find that inner voice that tells you what you want out of life. Find that inner voice, regardless of money. What do you want out of life? How do you want to show up? How do you want to feel? All of this is important. And I know I've taken a lot of your time for that. I am so grateful that you've been here from beginning to end. It says a lot about you. Says a lot about me too, because I'm kind of intriguing, right? I'm a little engaging, but that's okay. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. But it says a lot about you. You're doing your work. You're curious. You're looking. You're searching. You're figuring it out. And even if you feel like you're so close, you just need a little bit more, you're still in the right place. Or if you feel like you're far away and you need a lot, you're in the right place. You can watch all the videos I've done this year. You can get into the community and get poured into. You can ask me your questions about your specific situation, and I can get you some answers. We can do this together because I'm pouring into therapists and healers. What are you doing with your life? You got that either or thinking going on where you think you got to choose between making a difference and making money? Let me help you clear that. Find that inner voice and listen to it. Your money values are your deal breakers. Set some standards for yourself. What will you have to give up to get the type of money you want? Maybe you have to give up some relationships, those people who make you feel guilty, or those people who are taking more than their fair share from you. Maybe you have to give up some partnerships because you're like, wait, I'm not that greedy person. I've had to say no to working with people because I don't like their values. I don't like the way they treat people. It's going against my own value. And so I say no to that money. You may have to choose a different investment because maybe it's built off of something that causes sickness and illness and you don't want to be associated with that. You may have some deal breakers that you have to say no to. You need to get clear on what those are. You may be doing this for likes and approval and you got to sacrifice that. Forget likes and approval. It's not about that. It's about value, transformation, staying true to this work. And staying true to this work does not mean only charging a little bit. Now, if your target market can only afford $50 a session or whatever, a month or a year, whatever the number is, if that's what you know that they can afford and you are working with them where they are, and then you can get them to the higher level. Because what do you think happens when you clear your mental stress? You put yourself in a position to make more money. So if you stick with them, then they can add more and add more. You can start out at the $50 rate, raise them up to the $150 rate. Next thing you know, $500 rate, $5,000 rate, because you grew and they grew and we all grow together. But we got to start somewhere. So don't worry about charging a lot of money to feel worth it. You are worth it. So let me wrap this up because I want to give you three things that you need to be thinking about. The most common areas in your body where money stress shows up, your back and your shoulders. Those are most common. It is the confusion, the stress, and the fear that show up in your shoulders and your back. Then the second place where I see most common is heart and lungs. And that's around greed and guilt. That's where that pain comes from because your body is going to give you some signs. And the third place that I see is in the gut, very stomach, the stomach area. That's money. That's money. When you're denying your creativity, it's money challenges that create that stomach where you're not forgiving yourself or forgiving somebody who might have taken money from you. That is a money challenge. Now, there, of course, can be amongst other things, but I'm just telling you this work that I do, this is what I see. Okay. So when you deny the value you add, you're going to get this feeling in your body. It could be aches, it could be pain, it could be illness, it could be anxiety, could be fear you feel. And I call it the yucky feeling. So when it's not right, when the money is not right, you're going to feel a yucky feeling. When the money exchange is correct, is positive, you're going to feel a yummy feeling. So I want you to be looking for that. This is the work that you're going to be doing over this month. Be looking for that yucky feeling and don't do anything but stop. I'll give you the next step over the next couple weeks. But when you feel that yucky feeling, just stop. Just know you need a pause. We call it a presidential pause. You get that awareness and you just pause. You might not know what to do just yet. You might not have the power, the energy, the expertise to do it, but just you do have the energy to stop and just go, oh, I feel that yucky feeling. Let me not make a decision right now. Give me a minute. And then later, as you work these tools, you're going to start feeling the yummy feeling. Now, you might feel it already. You might say a price out of your mouth. You might buy something. Somebody might tell you a price. You feel that yummy feeling. You can move forward. You can keep going. Don't stop. You're in the right place. The exchange is fair. So, what beliefs? This is the last thing I want to leave you with. Let me give you some field work. What beliefs do you have around money? What beliefs do you have around money? Really be thinking about that. What are your money beliefs? What are some of the beliefs that you need to clear that society gave you that you're ready to give up? Like money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's better to give than to receive. You got to work hard for money. Be thinking about those things. Okay. And here's your field work. I want you to consider What is your earliest money memory? Think about your earliest money memory. I kind of remember getting money in a card from a grandparent that was the amount of money I was. So if I was 5 years old, I got $5. And that's kind of my earliest money memory. And it's an earning memory. It's and I didn't do anything to earn it. So that's pretty cool, right? You just got money just because you were born. What if we could just all think that way? I just get money because I was born rather than having to work hard for it or do some specific thing for it. I just get money because I was born. That feels so good, right? That gives you that yummy feeling I was talking about. So be thinking about that, your earliest money memory. And the second thing I want you to think about is know your numbers. Know your numbers specifically around earning right now. We're going to look at those other numbers over the weeks, but earn your know your number around earning. What is the amount of money you need to earn in order to feel prosperous? Just ask yourself that question because that's important. It's important to you and it's important overall because this world is going to be a better place if we all have more money. And I know it freaks you out because you're thinking, how can everybody have enough money? Like that can't be possible. It's so much out there. Don't let that lack mentality get in your way. The last thing I want to tell you, you got your field work, but jump in the community, especially if you're a therapist or a healer. Jump in the community. It's free. The link is in the description. I will see you soon. I'll be here next week, but you can hang out with me all month long if you want, a couple times a month if you want more of this. And I'm spending 30 or so minutes with you right now. Probably next week I won't do it this long, but this was so important. It was so much to give you. But you can spend about an hour with me and I can answer your questions. Now, you probably put questions in the comments right now. I'm going to get to them. And I'm also going to ask you to just jump into the community so that when I go live a couple times this week and next week and the week after that, that you and I can connect because I'm going to send you an email when I'm going on Zoom and you can join me on Zoom and you and I can have a conversation. How does that sound? Does that sound good or good? I know, right? So I am Kanae Corder, National Certified Counselor and the world's #1 clinical hypnotherapist specializing in corporate therapy. And I really want to serve you so that you can earn, grow, protect, gift, and enjoy your money. Make money while making a difference. And I'll see you soon, next week specifically. But I say just jump in the community so I can see you more often.